Welcome to Hypnosis Health Info. I'm Roger Moore. This morning on the ferry coming over from Bainbridge Island to Seattle, a woman came up to me and that I see from time to time on the ferry, and she was all excited because she'd watched Amy Eller's Food Revolution, and she'd first heard about it through Hypnosis Health Info, reading one of my blog posts, and she was thanking me profusely for turning her on to that, and she was just going on and on about how much sense it made, and wish that we could get something like that going here in the Seattle area. And I said, well, maybe we can. And she said, well, you know, she had just started going to the gym, and she was working with a personal trainer, and the personal trainer was talking to her about her need for protein and getting more protein, and she needed to eat more animal protein. And I looked at her and I said, really? Why is that? And she said, well, he said, I need more protein. And I said, well, think about it for a moment. Why do you need more protein? And she really couldn't answer that. And I said, well, how much protein do you think you need? She couldn't answer that. And I said, well, how much more protein does this personal trainer think you need to have? She couldn't answer that. And I said, okay, so sounds like you need to do some research and some reading and gather some information on that. And I said, and I have one other question for you. Who do you know who has a protein deficiency? And she couldn't come up with anybody that she knew who had a protein deficiency. And I said, well, that's the problem. I said, unless you've got some physical condition, a medical condition that makes it hard for your body to work with protein, or you're taking some medication that depletes protein from your body or makes it difficult for your body to process protein, you know, most of us walking down the street, our problem is not lack of protein, our problem is excess. And so I went on to tell her about a World Health Organization study a number of years ago where they checked on just how much protein people actually needed. And they discovered that all we need is 2.5% of our total calories per day to come from protein. 2.5%. Now that's not very many calories. But they decided to be safe, and so they doubled it to 5%. Okay, 5%. That's still not very many calories. It's not a whole lot of protein that's needed. Now, here's the deal. When you live on like a plant-based diet, food that looks like it was dug out of the earth, picked off a plant or a bush or out of a tree, when you're eating vegetables, when you're eating whole grains, even some fruit, you're going to be averaging 12 to 15% of your total calories per day from protein. Oatmeal runs about 11% protein. So it's physically impossible for a dietitian, for a doctor, or anyone else to develop a protein deficient diet based on plants, vegetables, fruits, whole grains. And so we talked about that, and he said, so you need to do your own checking and your own research and talk to your medical professional and go back and talk to this trainer and just see what they're talking about. But I said, even for powerful, strong athletes, there's a lot of athletes that are bodybuilders, that are Ironman competitors, that do extreme sports, that are vegans. They don't eat meat, they don't eat dairy. And so then I came to the office, and I've had a number of client sessions, and I had to make a phone call, and I was on hold for a few minutes, and I started looking again at a magazine from Good Medicine that came from the Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine. It came yesterday, and so while I was on hold, I started flipping through it, and I came across this interesting article about complete nutrition. And the first thing it talks about is protein. It was once thought that plant-based diets could provide adequate protein only if specific foods such as grains and beans were consumed together, a concept known as protein complementing. It is now known that a diet based on grains, vegetables, fruits, and legumes provides all the essential amino acids needed to produce complete protein, even without special combining. Wow, how about that? Minerals. Calcium, iron, and other minerals are especially abundant in legumes and green leafy vegetables or beans and greens. Vitamin B12. Vitamin B12 is not found in most plant foods. For individuals following a diet free of all animal products, vitamin B12 needs can easily be met through fortified foods, including many breakfast cereals, some meat substitute products, and fortified soy milk. Most common multivitamins also contain B12. Seaweed and products like tempeh are generally not reliable sources of vitamin B12. Regular intake of vitamin B12 is important to meet nutritional needs. The recommended dietary allowance for adults is 2.4 micrograms per day, so that's not very much, with increased requirements for women who are pregnant or breastfeeding. So you see, folks, you don't need to be eating lots of chicken and fish and beef and pork. You don't need to be eating lots of soy products. You don't need to be worrying about where am I going to get my protein, where am I going to get my nutrients. Eat a good variety of whole grains, of vegetables, of fruits, legumes, and you're going to have a very complete eating strategy, a very complete diet. You're going to get all the nutrients you need. And of course, before you change your eating strategy, talk to your medical professional, your doctor, or whoever it is that you see, and get checked out, make sure that everything's okay, and tell them what you're doing. And but you know, let go of the myth that, oh, I got to have my protein. You really can build strong bones, strong muscles. You're going to get plenty of calcium from green leafy vegetables, from other whole grains and vegetables. You don't need to be drinking milk and eating cheese. In fact, those things all take calcium out of your body. So focus on healthy eating. Start your own food revolution by changing your relationship with yourself, your relationship with food. Eat when you're hungry. Eat real food. You know, let go of the processed foods, the fast foods, the junk foods. Eat real food. Stop eating when your body says enough, no more. That's healthcare reform. I'm Roger Moore, and this is Hypnosis Health Info.